Hey, this is Jim at Broadfield. Thanks for joining us for another Broadfield Liquid Lunch and Learn every Thursday this week, live from the Infocomm 2024 show. Being joined first with Chuck from LiveU to talk about a pre-show and some of the technology we're using. Chuck, I gave you a call and said we want to broadcast from the show, and I'd like to use a LiveU encoder. You and your team doubled down and said we're using an entire lightweight production system, including a cloud infrastructure, a brand new product that we're going to launch here at Infocomm, right?
We're excited about it. This is going to be a great show of what a LiveU workflow is going to look like here on the floor. And let's jump right into it.
Let's do it. So I want to talk about some of the technology that we're using. The LiveU Lightweight Production Bundle is going to be an application that's built for some of these smaller teams setting themselves up in environments where a LiveU Solo isn't quite enough, and the investment into the professional products is built in a bundle that is really tailored for that next level of growth, right?
Yeah, exactly. What you're getting when you think about a lightweight production is you're able to take advantage of LiveU's best-of-breed encoding technology with a cloud-based production environment where literally you can spin up an event in as quick as 7 minutes.
That's right.
And you're able to, host multiple events simultaneously.
Yeah, and like this one, for instance, from a crowded trade show floor in Vegas, we're using the technology not only to stream from the show floor, but we're using LiveU Studio to mix all of it in the cloud. And throughout the show, I'm going to point out some of the different elements that highlight that technology. The production bundle that we're talking about includes a few different components.
Yeah, you're right. So when you look at what a lightweight production actually includes from a hardware perspective, a field encoder and a web-based application called LiveU Studio, and that's it. And you think about how easy it is to get into an environment, a complete workflow with LiveU, with literally the option to have no capital investment, a very low-cost entry point to get into a complete LiveU workflow.
And that's one of the key factors about this bundle, is it's based on LiveU's pay-as-you-go model, which is a very low-cost investment for people to get their events and their productions spun up quickly. Like you said, 7 minutes or less, right?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, the pay-as-you-go is a great entry point model for us, where we're able to get a customer into this LiveU workflow with a lightweight production with literally event-based pricing.
Yep.
And so, again, a no capital investment approach, which is allowing us to attract any type of customer with any kind of need to meet any kind of budget.
Absolutely. We've talked about how the value is there for the money when we talked about that model. But these are some of the other great features of this offering as well.
Yeah, you think about lightweight production. I mean, because we're a cloud-based production tool set with Studio, we can, operators can do multiple events simultaneously. So if you're doing a production where you're covering multiple sporting events or multiple corporate events, this can all be managed by, in essence, a single operator on a single platform.
Absolutely. And you can learn more about the Lightweight Production Bundle. We will have information going out to all of our dealers, giving you full setup information and how to offer it to your production teams and to your customers. I want to now take a moment to introduce everyone else around the rest of our show floor here. We are located in the Central Hall. Chuck, thank you very much for joining us.
Appreciate it.
I am going to circle back to your table in just a few minutes.
All right.
And point out some of the stuff we're doing with the production bundle.
Thank you.
Right now, I'm going to grab your mic, and we're going to go visit Red. We have a Red Komodo camera set up here at the show. And I am going to be joined by our own cinema expert, Peter Snyder, part of the Broadfields sales team. Peter worked at Red for quite a while. He is very familiar with all the cameras and all the offerings, and is going to introduce the Komodo that we have set up here and how Red fits into this Pro AV marketplace.
Absolutely. So we have the Red Komodo 6K. It's the very first global shutter camera in Red's lineup. They now have the Komodo X, the V-Raptor X, and the V-Raptor XLX also with global shutter. This retails at $59.95. All the tremendous Red color science their R3D raw file structure is within this really compact camera. You can rig it up. You can make it really small for all kinds of gimbal drone work. Really a wonderful camera.
And for our Red dealers out there, if you are offering the V-Raptor X or V-Raptor X XL, they did just introduce brand new production packs for those cameras. They are shipping and available from Broadfield. You could give us a call at 800-634-5178. Talk to Peter or anyone else from our Broadfield sales team, and we're happy to help answer any questions you have on the Red cameras, as well as the cinema modules and some of the other interesting applications in that Pro AV space and where it fits in. Peter, always a pleasure. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, Jim.
I'm going to grab that microphone and see if we can find Brandy from PTZOptics to join us. There she is. Hey, Brandy, how are you today?
I am amazing. Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's our pleasure. So PTZOptics has their own booth here at Infocomm.
We do.
Directly on the way in the other side of the hall.
Like way
that way. So we're getting your customers from both ends here.
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
If you're in the Central Hall 5359, you can check out PTZOptics right here at the Broadfield booth. Brandy, what are we showing off?
Well, we have quite a few things here at the show. We've got our new Hive studio. So just think cloud-based control your cameras from anywhere in the world. Set up your studio, send your cameras out, they plug into the internet, you're good to go. We've got our Studio Pro, our static camera, so great for the social influencer space, courtrooms, sports, our Move 4K. I mean, that is your everything. All your outputs, 4K, large image sensor. It does amazing tracking. Like you can run. Like we've got a video of like tennis match that like.
I'm not running, just so we're clear.
You're not running.
Okay, no.
Okay.
If you see me running, just turn around and go in that direction. Yeah.
With the new firmware update, you can actually track a whole group, like even a dance team.
Yes. It's great. Lots of great tools. And not even from the auto tracking world, but from the hardware control.
Yes.
The SuperJoy is one of my favorite controllers on the market.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Like it is literally our best seller,
Great.
the SuperJoy. You can have custom presets. You can set like one custom preset to control 8 cameras up to one time. You have another one to start tracking. It is NDI and IP and 255 presets. So like it's...
And for our dealers who are familiar with the SuperJoy, you know it will not only control PTZOptics cameras, but any camera available in the marketplace, which brings us back to the Hive Studio.
Right.
The Hive Studio from a cloud application is also being developed to support everything out there in the market. It does not have to be a PTZOptics ecosystem. It can really work into the flow for everything out there.
For everything.
Excellent. Brandy, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much, Jeff.
We're going to head over to the next table. Jeremy. Let's see if we can grab you onto the show, Jeremy. How are you today, buddy?
Good to see you, my friend.
Always a pleasure. So VizRT is always going to be part of a Broadfield booth. We are proud to be a VizRT distributor. We did a show very recently showing off some of the LiveU Go tools and the sports analytics platforms. Today, we have the TriCaster 2 Elite with a really pretty VizRT faceplate on there, huh?
Yes, the rebranding, the rebadging is rolling out as we speak.
Introduce it. What do we got going on?
All right, so we just talked about with the TC2 and our highly sought-after Flex panel. Again, our panels are now NDI based, so now we can control any TriCaster from anywhere on the NDI network, even from my house. We spin up NDI bridge, we can put these things wherever we need to. The other cool thing is I can control multiple TriCasters in different locations. I can also have multiple panels connected to the TriCaster at the same time. So if I need to have dual operators, I can set that up now. It's part of the advantage and flexibility of our Flex control panel. We also have some audio I/O on this now. So if I need local audio connectivity, I can go in and out from the panel itself, also control those faders. So from a smaller one-man band operation, it does get a lot of horsepower right at your fingertips.
That's excellent. And one of the great things, too, is all of these obviously available from Broadfield, but the Flex control panel, the dual control panel are available now in the VizRT summer promos.
Correct.
We have some great promos available throughout the product line. Everything from the TriCaster Mini, adding a PTZ camera for just $1,500 or 2 cameras for $2,500. Adding a TriCaster, a fletch control panel with a TriCaster, a dual fletch with a TC2 Elite.
We have the graphics packages. We're doing bundles on everything. So yes.
And I'm glad you mentioned the graphics package because that's a good production note.
Right.
We're using LiveU Studio to broadcast and switch this show. We're bringing in all of our graphics in lower thirds using Flowix. So we were able to take the same graphics package that we use in our TriCaster studio and use those on the cloud.
Right.
I know we can do it with TriCaster now as well.
Yes.
So it's once you start incorporating some of these cloud tools, one of the biggest things it's giving you is that flexibility to incorporate it into any workflow.
We've expanded this now with our new Tetra product. We talked about it at NAB. We've announced it publicly now. We've even won the award for Best in Show from System Contractor News. That panel is on our booth at the other end of the hall. So we're showing our new Tetra products and the award-winning Tetra as well. We're talking about cloud instance.
Yep.
That's now our new way to do the embark, de-embark from a cloud environment. You're spinning up TC now, but you still have to have signals on-prem some way. So Tetra allows for that connectivity locally. You have Bridge running on Tetra. That gets it up into the cloud. Great, easy workflow.
And Tetra is on display in the VizRT booth, also here in the central hall at Infocomm. Jeremy, thank you very much. Let me grab that microphone from you, and we will head over to our next guest and our next partner space over here. Eric from Absen is joining us to talk about the Absen monitors.
How's it going?
Excellent, excellent. How are you today?
I'm doing really good.
So
Very
I was
excited.
over at your booth in the West Hall yesterday. Jessica was nice enough to give us a great booth tour. You guys got a lot of stuff going on over there. We don't have a lot of stuff going on here, but we're very proud of what we are showing off, and we're very happy that Broadfield is a distributor for the Absen product line now.
Well, I'll tell you, we're very excited to have Broadfield on board as well, and I'm looking forward to a lot of fantastic things.
Awesome. So you can see the monitor setup here behind us. Eric, can you introduce this for us?
Sure. This is a 3x3 KLCOB 1.2. What's different about the chip on board system is it actually has a black epoxy on it, so it actually can be touched, it can be cleaned, and it also brings out that really fantastic contrast ratio.
Absolutely. And then for those of you that want to see the panel and how easy these panels are to set up, use, service, operate, whatever you need to do, we have an etch panel here on the table in front of us. You can actually come and put your hands on it.
That's right. The great thing about most Absen products is repairability, right? So they always come with spares. If something does happen, you can take that spare, put it up. Usually takes about 30 seconds to change that particular module. And then you can send that spare back into us. We have a bench in LA and Orlando, Florida. We'll repair that, send it back to you, and you'll always have a spare.
And Broadfield is looking to stock some of the all-in-one display solutions.
Right.
And we are going to be stocking some of these NH panels as well. So we will have the right solutions to offer all of our dealers and all of our customers. We also have access to the entire Absen product line. So if you do see something in the West Hall that fits a solution that you're working on from a production point of view, we can work with Eric, Jessica, and the rest of the Absen team to make sure that Broadfield is your source for all of these display solutions.
I like to say, if you can dream it, we can build it, and that's more true now than it ever has been in the past.
That's awesome. Eric, thank you so much for joining us.
Very much.
I'm going to grab that microphone. Let's move on over to the next section we have here, where we are being joined with Peyton from Panasonic, introducing the Kairos production system.
That's right. For those who might not know Kairos, Kairos is our live production platform. It's GPU based. So what does that mean for you? It does so much more than just cut your live show, right? It can do screen management as well. So we have these unique 32 by 9, 9 by 16, kind of whatever format, resolution that you kind of want to throw at it, it'll take it. So I know Broadfield actually just installed theirs at their headquarters.
We did.
So
really excited about that. We're going to be doing a webinar in the very near future where Glenn's going to show off exactly what that Kairos is capable of doing. And we're working with you and your team and some of the other solutions available in the Broadfield product line to create a Kairos roadshow. That's right, we want to come to a city where our dealers are located to show off just how capable these Kairos systems are.
Yeah.
One of the biggest things that I think dealers really bite into is that digital canvas functionality, where you can not only create a live production, you can create a live production in any format for any screen anywhere, right?
Yes. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, and what's really exciting too is the new KC200 L1. So for those who might not be ready for SMPTE 2110, Keros is built on the SMPTE 2110 backbone. The new 200 L1 has 3 SDI boards already built in, so it kind of gets you affordable entry point into the Keros ecosystem.
Yep.
And then later down the line, if you want to implement 2110, you can just add that NIC card.
So there's always a path for growth.
Absolutely.
And it's great. You start with the investment to get where you need today, and then you grow to the system that's going to handle all of your needs. And when you're talking about the upcoming needs in the production environment, where you're doing virtual sets with some of these Absen LED walls, or you're designing for digital signage platforms, Keros is a great system to look at.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hayden, thank you so much for joining us. And we'll see you on the roadshow. Now let's head over to our next table here, where we are being joined by Jeff Briggs from Canon, introducing not just the PTZ lineup, but the Canon Cinema line that's available now at Broadfields as well.
Correct, also.
Jeff, you got some great cameras here. Let's walk through them.
Yeah, we got our PTZ cameras. We're showing off the 500 and the 100 here. These are both NDI enabled. We're connected with NDI over at the Vizrt booth here. These cameras come in 4 indoor models. We have 2 outdoor models as well. The indoor models, the 100 and 300, are great cameras with low light capabilities, ready for anything in a conference room, a boardroom situation. Be great for that as well. And then our 500 and 700 really are those broadcast style professional cameras where you need to match, implicitly to the color balances that are required in some of those spaces. In addition to that, we have 12G SDI output for people that need, an extended workflow like that.
That's awesome. And then we have these cameras here as well, right?
Yes, we got our camcorder line. We're showing off our XF605, which is a very robust model. Has everything that you need to throw this camera in a bag and shoot anything, anywhere.
Awesome. Yep.
Really excited about
this. This is the R5?
Yes. So
awesome.
The R5C and the C70 units here are our cinema line of of cameras. And we're showing off the Cine Servo lens here. You can connect this with the servo cable to have hand controls and use it in on a tripod in a broadcast style environment. These are really used in anything creative that you need or want to create. With the interchangeable lenses, the Cine Servo lenses that were shown here, the compact servo lens, as well as some of the Cine Prime lenses that you can get through Broadfield as well, can really capture any type of unique style that you would need to with these cameras.
Now, I know these cameras were much more popular at the Cine Gear show last week, but I'm glad that you brought them here to Infocomm as well, because one of the things we're seeing in the Pro AV space is the demand for that higher optical image quality.
Yeah.
Where we're seeing, one of the things I love most about the Canon color science is you're seeing applications where they're color matching these PTZ cameras to cinema cameras,
yes,
to camcorders, to try to get the best in the environment from an optical image standpoint.
Yeah. And when you're in a environment where you're adding a solution, and if you're doing it all Canon, the great thing about it is the same sensor that's in our XF605 is the same sensor that's in our N500 and N700. So you're able to color match those really well because it is the same sensor. So,
and you can also control them really well.
Yes. So Canon has a control protocol called XC protocol, and with that, our new control surface, the RC IP1000, you're able to do so much more than just pan and tilt and zoom the cameras and change some settings on the PTZ side of it. You're able to change settings and control the C70 and the XF605 as well. So if you're in a mixed environment where you have a stage and you have this, camera and you're using it on stage, you have this one, say, at the back of the auditorium, you're able, as the PTZ operator, you're able to, from that control surface, change all those cameras and adjust all that as well. You're also able to see tally in and out on there as well. Right. So your operator knows, hey, don't change some settings on that camera, it's live.
Awesome. Jeff, thank you so much for joining us and walking through that.
Thanks,
Let me grab that mic. Appreciate it. So I told you, as we talked about LiveU and the LiveU studio that we're using, I wanted to show some interesting production tools. One of the things that I forgot to do when we walked by the Absen area, we talked about being in the West Hall yesterday, showing off the Absen booth. One of the advantages that LiveU Studio gives you is the ability to bring in a clip that is pre-recorded and on the machine. Adam, I know it's a little bit of a curveball. I'm a little bit late on this, but are we able to pull up that clip that we captured yesterday from the Absen booth? We're going to pull up that clip now. Let's play it. I am being joined in the West Hall at W2524 with Jessica Sanders from Absen. Hey, Jess, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, Jim?
Doing awesome.
Love it.
So we announced our brand new partnership at NAB right here in Vegas.
Just a few months ago.
Yeah. And we're back already, this time for the Infocomm show.
Right.
Which is a little bit different than the broadcast industry. This show plays into that pro AV space. And one of the things that we're most excited about working with you is that your solutions are really the display solutions for everyone from broadcast to pro AV to digital signage, house of worship, everything, right?
Exactly.
Awesome.
Absen's known as being that industry leader in LED technology. And actually, we're setting the standard when it comes to export volume out of China the last 15 years. So we've sold more LEDs across the world the last 15 years than any other LED manufacturer there is. So Absen has that reputation of being one of the top tier LED manufacturers that's out there today. And we're so excited to be partnering with Broadfield Distribution and their full team and what they're looking to do.
And our next stop, coming full circle, is back around to the LiveU section of the Broadfield booth here in the Central Hall at Infocomm, where Troy has been demoing the solo encoders and the LU300 and 800, right?
Yeah, Jim. I wish I'd had time to prepare my hair. I didn't know you were coming. So we've got here 3 different units. We're focusing on the hardware here at the Broadfield booth. We've got the Solo, which is our consumer prosumer offering, and then we've got the LU300 and the LU800, part of a professional solution lineup of hardware offerings. We can take anywhere from 1 camera to 4 cameras and really send it anywhere in the world that you want to take it, whether that be back to a studio via SDI or to the cloud with LiveU Studio. So lightweight production, that's one of the big focuses. We heard about Chuck talking about that earlier. We're all about that. So, we're not just providing the cloud-based software solutions for that, but we're also providing the hardware to make that capable.
Excellent. And one of the things we're doing with LiveU Studio also is LiveU has a booth here in the Central Hall.
We do.
And we are going to bring in Steve Wynn Mosley live from your booth right now. That's why you see me with the earbud in. I am going to have a remote guest live from the Infocomm floor. Steve, are you there?
Hello, Jim. How are you?
I am doing excellent, Steve. How are you today?
Well, Jim, I just want to say I've discovered a flaw in this remote guest pull-in. For some reason, my virtual copy of your beer hasn't arrived in my hand. What's going on?
Well, at least you can't be as angry as all of the people that I just walked past drinking that same beer without enough to share here on the show floor.
Fantastic.
So, Steve, tell us a little bit more about LiveU Studio and how we're able to do a production like this, bringing you in as a remote guest from a trade show floor where we know even a single transmission could be especially a challenge.
Absolutely. So it all starts, Jim, as you well know, with LRT. That's LiveU Reliable Transport. And that's our codec that sits behind everything we do. LiveU Studio is the world's only cloud-native, LRT-native virtual production control room. And as you've been talking about, it can work with things like Floix to give us these wonderful graphics that you guys have been using. But at its heart is our ability to bond IP video connections together to create a nice, stable, reliable connection, even in a contested, austere network, as we're seeing today in the Las Vegas Convention Center. But we need to make things super simple, which is what Studio's all about. Hey, I'm coming to you and I'm just a marketing guy. We've got 2 marketing guys. We're not technical, but we're running a show. We're also presenting the show. And that to me is at the core of lightweight production. Being able to have your talent run shows as well as present shows so people can reduce the effort, reduce the time, reduce the travel, and of course reduce the money, but still create really, really compelling content.
You've talked about everything they can reduce. One of the things that they can do is produce. You could produce more and more content than you've ever been able to do before because of how simple and lightweight some of these tools are to spin up and get working.
That's absolutely right. The LiveU ecosystem, of which LiveU Studio is just one part, is designed to do two things. The first is to shorten workflows. What do I mean by that? It's about taking out complexity. But of course, as you've just said, Jim, the second part is the most important. It's about adding efficiency. Simply put, content is at the heart of everything we do. The more content that our customers can produce, the more value they can create. The more value they can create, you get the whole point. It's a cyclical, virtual cycle. And content is at the heart. Helping people produce more for less is what it's all about.
And I'm glad we were able to create that content today. Steve, thank you very much for providing us these tools to show off and use. I hope that this little case study that we just spun up gets our dealers thinking about how this solution could benefit their customers, benefit their business, and they could think of the application where these could be tremendously successful. Steve, I'm going to let you get back to your busy booth now.
Thank you very much, Jim. Have a good one.
Thank you. Before we wrap up today's show, I have one other guest to go to. We are joined by Advanced Image Robotics. Kevin actually came into Vegas earlier today with the sole purpose of setting up the Advanced Image Robotics camera so we could show it off on today's show. Kevin, would you like to join us?
I'd love to. Do I get to hold this?
You do, absolutely.
Fantastic.
Thank you so much for making the trip to Infocomm.
I appreciate it.
You know, it's amazing. This is one of the things I love about Advanced Image Robotics.
Oh, yeah.
One phone call, you guys will show up, demo the system, and be able to share this exciting new technology with our dealers.
Right.
So let's show it off.
Yeah, okay, great. Well, what I've got here is I've got the Air 1 and the Air app. They're part of the entire Air platform. That all comes in the Air bundle that is sold by Broadfields.
Sold by and in stock at Broadfields.
Great. And what I'll show you here is we'll start here with this is the Air 1 robot. What it is it's an advanced gimbal technology. It's built around a 4K digital cinema camera. In this case, we've got a Z-Cam running. We've actually just added support for the Sony Alpha series, Sony FX3,
yes,
which will be shipping in Q4. And we also are upcoming with other cameras. But all I need here, and I've got this turned around so you can see, all I need here is power and an Ethernet cable,
yes,
right? And then I can run this camera literally from anywhere in the world. I'll demo you, I'll show you, show off, we'll be running our camera in
And that's one of the important things to point out with the solution is you're getting the robotic PTZ control of the camera.
Yes.
You're getting a remote production tool.
Yes.
You're getting the camera, the gimbal, the arm, whatever, the hardware, but also the cloud support and the infrastructure to really make that full production.
Yeah, for an initial buy-in of $10K, I'm getting everything I need to be able to do a multi-cam production very quickly, very easily. We like to say it's so easy a CEO can do it. But in this case, so I've set this up. All I need is power and the Ethernet connection, and I can really do some nice, easy pan, tilt, pan and zoom movements, just moving around like this. Just if I can move my finger back and forth on, hi there, and I get looking.
Oh, right, there he is.
There we are. Oh, we're going to get the infinite zoom, the infinite mirror thing. But, okay, we'll go to a full zoom here. And then I've got my presets down below here, you can see. And if I double tap on one of these, we'll take a nice, slow, easing movement back to our original position on the Broadfield sign there. So super, super cool, super easy. And if you hold that for a second, I'll show you my favorite part of it is that all of this fits right into this nice, easy case here. So when I'm done, I unplug it. It turns off automatically. It slides right back in there with my iPad, my power supply, everything else. And this will fit in an overhead bin. So if I'm going somewhere real quick, like at the last minute to support my partners, I can just toss it in the bag, toss it overhead, and I'm good to go, and I get here.
As long as you're not flying Spirit or Frontier Airlines, you'll be fine.
So if you're doing a remote talent interview, you can ship 2 of these if they're smart enough to plug it into the wall. And plug it into an Ethernet port connection. Then your crew can remote in and be able to do all the production, no problem. Switch it, do the coloring, stream it out to any CDN very, very easily, very smoothly.
Kevin, always a pleasure. Thank you so much for joining us.
Cheers.
So one of the things is Broadfield has a very extensive line card. We have a lot of great partnerships with Advanced Image Robotics and all of the partners that you saw here. When we get a phone call that one of our vendors want to come in, demo their product, show up at the booth, you're always welcome to do so. We like to say you'll like doing business with Broadfield because Broadfield makes it easy to do business. That's one of the reasons why we use these production tools to go live, to do shows like we do here from the trade show floor. We will be spinning up our camera later on today and throughout the day tomorrow from some of our other partner booths throughout the show. I am sure lots of them will have FOMO missing today's episode. I am going to go finish my beer and rest up my voice for the Dead & Company show at the Sphere tonight. So until next week, cheers.
Broadfield Distributing is a value-added distributor of live production, streaming, video editing, and storage products. We only sell to resellers. We are always looking for new dealers, so call us at 1-800-634-5178 or email sales@broadfield.com. You'll like doing business with Broadfield because we make it easy to do business.